This is a fantastic vehicle. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching, and welcome to another episode proudly brought to you by Croton Motors, your trusted car dealer. As you know, at Croton Motors, we are very concerned to give you, our audience, content on automobiles so you can make more informed decisions on your respective car journeys. My name is D-Man and I will be your host for today. And if you're new to this page, kindly remember to click the like button and subscribe. And now, introducing the Toyota Landcruiser Prado, popularly known as the J150 series. This car is known for its aesthetics, its reliability, and its off-road capabilities. It comes in different varieties. It has the TX, the TXL, and the TZG. I know many of you at times wonder, what's the difference? And in this video, we're going to make that very clear for you. And it's about that time we take a journey back into the past to understand where it all began. Remember, stay tuned.
For decades, the Toyota Prado has been synonymous with strength, versatility, and exploration. Let's journey through its remarkable transformation. It all began with the Prado J70, a tough and reliable 4x4 built to conquer the harshest terrains. With its boxy design, robust frame, and simple yet effective engineering, the J70 earned its reputation as a workhorse for adventurers and professionals alike. Next, the Prado J95 introduced a new era of refinement. While retaining its rugged off-road capabilities, it brought comfort to the driver's seat, blending adventure with everyday usability. Its reliable 3-liter diesel engine and more family-friendly design made it a global favorite. Then came the J120. Toyota took things further, smoother curves, improved suspension, and advanced safety features. This Prado wasn't just for the trail, it was ready for the city, offering luxury and performance in one stunning package. Finally, the J150, Toyota's masterpiece. Sleek, powerful, and packed with cutting-edge technology, it redefined exploration. From advanced off-road modes to a luxurious interior, the J150 is built for the journey, no matter where the road, or lack of it, takes you. From the pioneering J70 to the trailblazing J150, the Toyota Prado isn't just an SUV, it's a legacy of innovation and adventure.
So there you have it, the journey of the Toyota Landcruiser Prado. And I think it's about that time we get to understand what this J150 series is all about. And we can only do this by bringing in the expert, Mr. Kelvin himself. Karibu bwana.
Yes, hi Diman.
Good to see you, bwana.
Nice to meet you again.
Today you're dressed down.
Yeah, today I'm a bit rugged.
Yeah.
Because we are dealing with rugged cars.
In the rugged terrain.
The rugged terrain, yes, exactly.
Can Salamia guys say hi to the audience?
Hi guys, Kelvin from Croton Motors. I'm a sales executive, but beyond that, I'm a vehicle enthusiast. And I'm very excited today because we're doing something different. Today we have off-road monsters.
Yeah.
Can't wait to test them out.
You know, it's about that time we make it clear why this car is a darling. People love this vehicle. Why?
This is the one car that you buy for all your needs in one basket.
In one basket, yeah.
Because this car, when you think off-road, it's the Toyota Prado. According to Kenya, the way people have perceived the Prado, if you think image and you see when you want to go do business, if you go with a Prado, it's a statement car
meets the
on
standards.
itself.
Yes.
If you're looking for a family car, the Prado can also serve that because it comes with a 5-seater configuration and a 7-seater.
7-seater.
If you have a big family, you're all fitting in here.
Wow.
It's a Toyota. It has the Toyota badge. So we are talking reliability.
Reliability.
What other car gives you all that in one basket?
And I like that because you've said off-road. Like,
Yes.
you see, people, this is Kenya. This is the tropics.
Yes.
People want to come to places like this.
Yes.
But you cannot come here with some particular vehicles because you have reservations that you might spoil it. You might have to go and buy new spares.
Yes.
You cannot hit the road as you'd want to hit the road. And this car is known for that. And we're going to do a test drive, yeah?
Definitely.
We're going to test it on terrain so people can see you can do it without reservation.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Now, the audience have seen the journey from where it began
Yeah.
and how it has made a name for itself.
Yes.
Maybe you can say, what are the new advancements with this J150 series?
In Japanese word, it's called Kaizen. So they have gone improving
Continuous
the Toyota
improvement,
Prado
yes.
over time.
Yeah.
If you look at the J70, which was the first series of the Toyota Prado,
Yeah.
going to the J90 series,
Yes.
going to the J120, and now the fourth generation, this J150, you can actually see constant improvement in the different models over the years. This particular one is the fourth generation J150. This particular model began production in 2017. And it's the model that goes all the way to 2024.
Yeah.
So anyone who's looking to buy a Prado now, this is the series they are looking at. The only other series that is above this is the 2025 J250, but we shall talk about that on a different day.
It honestly looks good.
It looks good. And
looks good.
if you look at the first model of the J150, which began around 2010, it was good. But if you look at what followed next, the teardrop design, the teardrop was it was a darling to many because some people think that it's the prettiest in the Prado lineup.
Yes.
But according to my eyes, I think this generation actually
muscular.
It's muscular. Teardrop design looked like it was just made for the off-road, but this one gives you a sense of luxury.
Yes. Yeah.
and ruggedness all in one.
All in one.
Yeah.
Also, on matters aesthetic, as we are busy admiring this car, I've noticed there's a difference
Yes.
between this one and this one. This one seems to have a sort of what do we
A
call
longer
it?
face.
Yes, a longer face, for lack
compared
of a
to
better
this one.
word. Yes.
Yes, because these are Prados from Japan, you'll find that there's some that normally come with a body kit. So the body kit makes the car look aesthetically pleasing, but unfortunately they do not resonate with the kind of use that this car is meant for. You see, in Japan, the roads are perfect.
Yeah.
There's barely places where you can take a car for extreme off-roading. There's no proper off-road area like the way we can be able to do here in Kenya.
Yes.
So if you buy a body-kitted Prado like this one, you're basically buying it because you're planning to spend most of the time that you'll have the car in a city area, in an urban area.
Okay.
But now this one, if you're a person who's crazy about going off-road, this is the Prado you should be going for. So this is how Toyota makes it from the factory. So you can see the angle of approach is actually very good, so that now if you're going extreme, there's nowhere where like the ground will have to be in contact with the car.
Why does this one have a mirror here and that one doesn't?
So that's a very good question because many people never know about this. Because the driver is on this side and he cannot be able to see that side. So he needs to see what obstacle is on that side.
Yeah.
So if this mirror here normally faces down so that when the driver is sat on his seat, he can be able to see any obstacle or big stone that is on that side.
Yes.
But then if you look at this one, it doesn't have, so this one has a camera. And this is not the only camera it has. It has a 360 degrees camera. If you see a Prado that doesn't have that mirror on the bonnet, it's a high trim of any particular variant, whether it's the TXL or the TZG. So what this one does, it normally outlines the whole area. This one you just need to look at the infotainment system. I'll show you as we do a test drive. It will be able to show you your entire terrain. So if there's a stone, you can see it in advance and avoid it. Just another thing to mention, the one that normally comes with a 360 degrees camera, the radio also has a function to change it to English. And one more thing to add, the one with the 360 degrees camera has a subwoofer at the boot.
Kevin, these things you'll have to show us on the inside. What does this mean in the engine? What does the engine look like? The power, the torque? Maybe you can highlight that for us.
Yeah, definitely. So what we have today, we have the diesel variant.
Okay.
So Toyota have always given the diesel variant a 2.8 liter turbocharged D4D diesel engine.
All right.
This engine, it will easily give you around 250 horsepower. But the torque is around 400, which is very nice.
Good.
Yeah, it's very good for such an SUV. So the diesel variant is the only one that has a turbo. The only other engine is the 2.7 liter petrol, but that is naturally aspirated. What that means, it doesn't have a turbo.
Yes.
So its motion is basically
not
dependent on it burning fuel. And that's why...
Not as powerful.
Yeah, it's not as powerful. And most people consider it the weaker Prado, which is true. If you compare the power...
Yes,
you
performance.
Get, performance on the diesel is definitely way better than the petrol one.
Okay.
So the petrol one doesn't have a turbo, so it's very heavy on fuel.
So when you're saying fuel, what's the fuel economy like?
For the diesel, it will comfortably give you around 11 kilometers to the liter, which is very good for such a car. These are 2.8 liter, but it's a 4-cylinder engine.
Okay.
The power, let's say the power works well, and this engine is actually very capable on this car. It doesn't strain, courtesy of the turbo, but the petrol one feels sluggish because the car is heavy and the engine doesn't have a turbo.
Yes.
Give it more power.
Okay.
So that's why most people, if you go anywhere, everyone will be telling you, if you want the Prado, go for the diesel.
The diesel.
And I want to support that because I've driven both of them and I can attest that the diesel one is the most powerful one.
Diesel it is?
Yes.
I've noticed these ones don't have that whistling sound. There's no whistling sound. What happened? There's a transition there.
Yeah, so if you notice, we have two different types of J150s.
Okay.
We have this, the Japanese type. So how to tell the Japanese type, you'll tell it from the back. It doesn't have a wheel attached to the back door.
Okay.
Yeah, so the wheel
tail,
of the Japanese type is underneath.
It's underneath, yeah.
But if you see the ones that normally have a wheel at the back,
at the tail.
those are the ones that most of them are normally found in Australia, South Africa. Toyota Kenya actually offers those as well, and the UK as well.
Okay.
And the difference between these and those ones is that this one has an 87-liter tank.
Fuel tank, yeah.
Fuel tank. But the other ones, because you see the space that this one actually uses to have the spare tire.
Yes.
On the other models, the tire has been put on the back so that the tank can be bigger.
Yes.
So those ones normally have a 150-liter tank.
Okay.
So those ones, if you're a person who normally goes to very remote areas where you cannot access a petrol station close by,
go for that.
They normally go for the one that has a wheel at the back because the fuel tank is bigger. But if you're a person who does normal driving once in a while and you're in the city, you can get a petrol station anywhere, the 87-liter tank is enough for you. Okay. And that's why this is the model that is more popular than the other one.
Okay.
At least in Kenya. How
is its emissions? Is it emission friendly? Is it environmental friendly? Have they done any advancements to work on that?
Yes. Over the years, especially in this newer model, you see these the European standards. They've really pressed the car industry towards producing vehicles that are actually more efficient in terms of emissions and all that.
Yeah.
So there's presence of an AdBlue. You can see over there the blue cap over there.
Yes, right here.
Yeah, that's the AdBlue. So they have introduced the AdBlue so that it can be able to reduce the emissions. Now, if you notice, most of these newer Prados, they don't emit smoke like the Prados back in the day. You remember the J150s?
Yes.
They would pull out.
You would clearly know it's a diesel.
No, it's a diesel. Nowadays, it's very hard for you to know which car is a diesel unless maybe if you're keen with the engine, that's when you know this one is a diesel. But you can never tell.
The emissions would not.
Yeah, you'll not see an emission. Yeah, you'll not see emissions in the new model anymore. In the J150 lineup, we have 3 trims. We have the TX, the TXL, and the TZG. So what we have today, this here is the TX, which is the entry-level Prado.
Yeah.
And the next one here is the TXL. So this is what follows the TX. After this one, now we have the TZG. We do not have the TZG here, but the major difference between the TXL and the TZG would majorly be the air suspensions.
That's it, majorly.
Maybe the cruise control function.
Yeah.
But beyond that, all the other features that you would want in the TZG, you'll easily get them in the TXL. Yes.
So the TZG basically adds more comfort.
So the TZG would be a good match to someone who's more corporate, someone who wants to work as they travel. Because the air suspensions actually absorb a lot of shock.
Yes.
But these ones come in spring suspensions. If you're looking for a Prado to take in the forest, you want the TX or the TXL.
We'll talk more about that as we get in. I think there's more you can elaborate based on the differences between the TX and the TXL as we have them here today.
Yes.
So I think maybe we can start with a bit of tarmac. Let's see how it sprints.
Yes.
And then we will jump into the TXL and take it off-road a bit.
Definitely.
So our audience can enjoy.
Yeah, let's take the TX for a small ride.
Kabisa. Oh yeah. The TX.
Yes, so this is the first trim that we shall be going through.
Yeah.
So this is the TX. It's the entry level Prado.
Entry level.
So by entry level, I mean
Yeah.
this is the cheapest Prado you can actually buy. It's the one that actually comes as the first in line.
Okay.
The reason it's cheaper to buy is because most of the parts on this car are manually controlled.
All right, let's dive into that.
Yes. So before I go to the manual bits, you can. So I mean, we have the steering controls. It has the full steering controls.
Yeah.
On the left side, it's for controlling the infotainment system.
Okay.
On the right side, now we have controls for the small screen that you have here on the dash, just in between the speedometer and the rev meter.
Okay.
And we also have the lane departure assist.
Yeah.
That helps you like keep to your lane. And under here we have the cruise control settings.
Yeah.
So if you're a person who's cruising on a highway, your settings to do the cruise controls are here. And then we have some more controls here. On the TX, being the basic model or the entry level, we don't have much controls on this side. We only have the headlamp washers. When you're going off-road and your headlamps are full of mud, you don't need to go out and wipe them. You have a headlamp washer. We also have the auto light and the idle app. So the idle app is when you've started the car in the morning and you want the oil to get hot quickly, you put in the idle app. It will actually increase the rev. The rev is how the engine is actually pumping. It's like you're slightly like pressing on the gas. If you're in a hurry and you need the oil to heat up quickly, you have that function over there. Then beyond that, we just have the normal mirror control, the window and the mirror controls on this end. So on the center console, we have a very big infotainment system. This helps you with the reversing.
Yes.
So when you're doing reverse, like if we put it, you can be able to see that you have a wide angle that you can see of the back. And then beyond that, you can be able to see other controls. These are the AC controls. Not much going on, because I mean, this is not a luxury car. This is an off-road car. Well, in Kenya it is a luxury car, but on the TX, the basic model, we don't have much going on. Under here now we have the four-wheel drive controls.
Yes. I'm seeing this H4.
Yes. We have the 4 high and the 4 low. The 4 low is when you're going to extreme off-roading. On normal driving, you're driving on 4 high. Then we have the diff lock. So when you're going to extreme off-roading and let's say you get stuck, you can lock your diff here. And what that does, when you lock the diffs, it means that now power will actually be taken away from the wheels that are spinning, and they will be diverted to the less spinning wheels. That's how you pull yourself out of a sticky situation.
Okay, so this car, is it full-time four-wheel drive?
No, this car is not a full-time four-wheel drive. You actually engage the four-wheel drive function when you need it. When you're driving normally, you're basically driving like a normal car, like a normal two-wheel drive car. But now when you lock the diffs, now you find that now power is actually distributed depending on the wheels that are spinning and the ones that are less spinning.
And the car determines which wheel.
Yeah, the computer can actually detect which wheel spins, so it takes away torque from that wheel, puts it to the other wheels that are less spinning. That enables you to actually get out of mud. Then we have the cup holders, which are quite normal. We have the gear selection here. We have the parking, reverse, neutral, drive, and in case you're a drive enthusiast and you like driving the manual way, there is a way you can actually push the lever on your right side and shift the gears on your own. Then we have parking sensors on this car. It's one of the safety features. It helps you know what obstacles are actually coming your way. And that's just about it. So if you notice here on the TX, it's quite bare. It's because it doesn't have the seat heating and the seat cooling. We have it on the TXL and the TZG, but this being the entry-level Prado, it lacks that. Engine is the same in all the three levels. If you get a TX, TXL or TZG, you're all getting the 2.8 liter. So it depends with your budget. If you have quite a low budget, the entry-level Prado is fine. If your budget is a bit good, you could go with the extra tech.
Yes. And this was a...
the downhill assist.
Downhill assist,
So now when you're going downhill, This is a feature that is present across the line
And
from
this
the
second
TX
start?
to TZG. The second start, this works in countries that experience a lot of ice and all that.
Okay.
So you wouldn't be using the second start in Kenya. The traction control is obvious. I mean, like it's a feature that is in most of the modern cars currently.
Kelvin, I like it. It's a very comfortable car, and I like the interior.
Yes, and one thing to note, the TX normally comes with fabric seats.
Okay.
But this specific one, you'll notice that the seats are fully leather.
Fully leather. I was like, I
It's
love
because we did the upholstery ourselves. We are
Okay.
the ones who converted it because we wanted the person who's gonna buy this car
Yeah.
to buy a complete car that feels modern. But normally you would not be getting leather seats on the TX.
So on
That's one
demand,
thing.
Croton Motors will.
We just decided to put, so the person who's gonna be lucky and get this unit
Yeah.
is gonna be having
Leather seats.
in a TX entry level.
Fantastic.
Yes. So don't you think maybe we
Let's
should do a small
let's
drive?
yeah, but I know this one we have to be a bit reserved because of the
Oh, the
body
body kit.
kit.
Now, you see why I was telling you. You see, in Kenya, if
Yeah.
you want to have fun with the Prado, I mean, if you're a person who enjoys off-road, don't take
Yeah.
one with a body kit. It will just make life hard. Like you see this one, you have to go carefully, like looking at what hole or what obstacle is in front of you. But then, if you have the one that doesn't have a body kit, we will just be going on top of anything that we find our way.
without concern.
Without concern, that's it. And when you're buying a Prado, you don't want to be concerned. If you want to be concerned, then get a Mercedes, where you're very worried about the sensors and all that. And not just Mercedes, but most of these European cars. But when you've decided it's the Prado, go for one.
Forget the
that's
body kit.
Forget the body kit. Body kit is aesthetics. Unless you've decided you're buying the Prado just for luxury
Yeah.
and just maybe to cruise with your family and not much about the off-road bit.
So kila kitu umesema is manual, even the adjusting of the
Even
seats.
yeah, you can feel that your seats, on the TX, you're adjusting your seats manually.
Yeah.
And you'll also notice one thing about the TX is that the back, so the TX, the TXL normally have options when it comes to the seating capacity. You can get either a 5-seater
Five-seater, yeah.
or a 7-seater. What we are driving now is a 7-seater. Yes.
Noticed.
Yes, but now here's the catch. The third row, where we have the 2 extra seats, you can, on the TX, you control them manually. You don't have buttons to raise the seats up or down. You have to physically go, take a lever and push them down or pull them
Adjust
up.
the chairs, yeah.
Exactly, yes. But I mean, like most people don't care. There's some people who are not very
not a big
tech-savvy.
deal.
Yeah, it's not a
It's
big
not a
deal.
big deal.
So if your budget doesn't get you to the TXL, the TX will still do the job.
Yeah, man. This is the reason why we need such cars, just to be in such a place. This place
Imagine.
is beautiful.
Yeah,
The terrain
look at
is
this scene.
scenic.
Yeah.
You know?
This is a place where you drive your
You
car. and
drive,
you
it's
just-
therapeutic. Every weekend you can
Yeah.
just get away.
And that's what the Prado is actually meant for.
So as I can see, this road is
Yes.
full of meanders.
Yes.
This obviously brings up the discussion about stability.
Yes. And I would like to touch on that. You see, the Prado is not a sports car. That's one thing people need to know. This car was basically meant for off-roading. When Toyota were building this car, they put a lot of off-roading DNA in it. And when you have a car that has a lot of off-road DNA in it, it means that the center of gravity is also quite high.
Yeah.
Because you need ground clearance. And when you're talking ground clearance, you're also you're talking about like raising the car higher up.
So it's quite tall.
Exactly.
It's really unfortunate that we don't know our country.
Yeah.
You know, the foreigners are the ones who get to experience this more.
I
And you see
agree.
that they heavily invest into vehicles like this because they know what this could do for them.
Yes.
And I see we're in a place where we can actually confirm if this car can
This car can actually sprint.
sprint. So let
Exactly.
me put on a timer. We're
In
clear now?
1, 2, go.
Go.
We are at 80, 90, 100.
Wow. Hey. And we are at 140. Woohoo! Yeah! I love it.
Yeah. 160.
Wow! All right. Woo! This guy is not slower.
It's not a slow car.
But you said turbo, yeah?
Yeah, courtesy of the turbo.
Turbo.
You wouldn't be able to achieve such kind of speeds in the petrol variant.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
10. And I believe it can do 9.
It can do 9. You see, our windows were open, so there is a lot of drag. So I'm sure if the windows were closed, we would be able to maybe achieve around 9 or let's say 8, sub 8 there.
Nice.
So now we have
The TXL.
TXL.
Talk to me. What's so different about this car?
So some of the things to note, if you just look around, you'll notice that most of the things are actually similar to the TX.
Yeah.
But there are some few tweaks that are actually very important that you can notice on this car. We shall not touch on the steering controls because those ones are very similar. The extras, you can see this one has a 360 degrees view.
Nice.
Surrounding.
Yeah.
Remember when I was mentioning
the mirror?
Yeah, about a Prado that doesn't have that mirror.
Yeah.
If you put it to reverse, on the other one, it only showed you one screen. You can see this one shows you the back screen and still gives you a 360
of the
view.
car.
Yeah,
Right.
so you can, if there's a stone here, you can be able to see there's a
see.
stone there, so let me avoid it. If there's a tree on your end, on your right side, you can be able to
This is
avoid
actually
it.
very accurate.
Yeah, it's actually more accurate and it's actually easier. So if you don't want the 360, you could twitch it like that. If you want the 360, you could actually use it like that.
Nice.
And you can actually trigger the 360 without even having to shift the lever to reverse. That's a very good feature. And then I mentioned about the one, the car that has a 360 degrees camera also has a radio that is fully in English. You can,
yes, you had
so
mentioned
this
that.
car has an English function. You don't get that
No
on
more
the
Japanese.
TX. Yeah, so most people who buy the TX end up having to change the whole radio.
Yeah.
But on this one, you don't have to change the radio because you already have an English function.
Guys must have really complained about that, yeah?
Definitely. And then this one has windshield heating. So if there is fog, you can heat the windshield. You don't get that in the TX.
Yeah.
And if you look down here, you'll notice that unlike the TX that only had the central locking diff, this being a high trim, it has both the central locking diff and the rear locking diff here. So these are proper off-road Prado. The TX that we reviewed is more of a, well, it will go off-road, but it's not the intense off-road Prado. But this one is a more intense Prado because you can lock two diffs.
So you can lock the center and the
And
rear.
the rear. So it's almost impossible for you to get stuck when you're with this Prado. The major other thing that you'll notice is that this one, you can be able to heat the seats and cool the seats. You cannot do that on the TX. And then the seats. There, you remember the other one you held
Was
that
manual.
The metal lever.
Yes,
and,
yes,
you
I
had
can
to
actually see.
pull
Yeah,
yourself in front or behind.
yeah, I
So
can see
this
this
one
is
you
nice.
can just slide. You can just slide either to the front or to the back, and you can actually twitch the seats the way you want.
Yes.
So these are more luxurious features that you get. And then another thing that is very important, you have the blind spot monitors. So what the use for the blind spot monitors is, if you're driving on a highway that is actually has many lanes, like let's say Thika Superhighway.
Yeah.
If you want to switch to one lane, and maybe you cannot be able to see a car that is coming on that lane at high speed.
Yeah.
This will alert you. When it actually blinks orange, it tells you there's a car that's coming that you
So
can't
the blind
see.
side,
So
you can't
hold
see it.
on
Yeah.
the lane that you are in until that car passes. It's a safety feature.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's
And
nice.
this particular one also comes with a
Sunroof. I was wondering when we are going to talk about this,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, we have the sunroof.
Hey.
I mean, like, who
Off-road with
doesn't
no
want-
sunroof.
Yeah, who wants to go to safari without
This is
some,
more like it.
Yeah, so the TX as well, you can get one with a sunroof.
Sunroof, yeah.
So the sunroof is about you just choosing whether you want it as a feature, whether in the TX, the TXL, or
But
even
the TXL does come with
The
it.
TXL has an option to come with a sunroof, and you can also choose one that doesn't have. So the sunroof is optional in all trims. But I mean, if you're buying a Prado, I mean, get everything.
You might as well.
Yeah, just get
You
everything.
might as well, yeah.
As you've noticed, we don't have much differences only the tech. You see, there's some people who will appreciate these extra tech features that you don't get in the TX, but you get in the TXL. And now we've actually talked a lot.
So we don't have any body kit to worry about. So
yeah, so in this one we don't have
let's
a body
give it.
kit, so let's have fun.
Let's have fun.
Yes.
So you had mentioned what power are we looking at here again? The horsepower was.
Well, the horsepower, diesel cars they're not very big on horsepower, but they're very big on torque. So the horsepower is around 250, it's there about 200 and something.
Yeah.
But the torque is 400 Newton meters of torque, and that is amazing. That is amazing torque. Yeah, so we don't have body kit, so let's have fun. Yeah.
So we ascend.
So we can't even tell you're going up a hill. You can see the way it actually does it with so much ease. Imagine having to go through such a terrain without worrying. We can actually go on and on and on, because the more we get into intense off-roading, the more the car
becomes alive.
Yeah, the car wants this kind of situation.
Kevin.
Yes.
That has been amazing.
I know.
You know, the thing about this episode is that it's been therapeutic.
Yeah.
We have gotten to enjoy the outdoors.
Exactly.
With a vehicle worth the outdoors.
Exactly.
So, I don't know, what are we telling our audience today?
So, I think the video is self-explanatory.
Yeah.
These cars are off-road monsters. We agree, there's no other car you'd bring and use it the way we've used both these cars off-road.
Off-road, that's very true.
So we agree one thing, these are proper off-road car.
Yeah.
And it's a reliable car. Have you driven feeling like, oh, there's something that's gonna fail or something is gonna break? It's a perfect car. So
Yes.
what I'd tell the people, if you're looking for luxury, you could consider the TZG because of the air suspensions.
Yes.
If you're looking for an off-road monster, you could go for the TX or the TXL.
Yeah.
All the vehicles across the board have the 2.8 liter engine for the diesel. So up to now, we are agreeing that the diesel is the best Prado to buy.
Forget petrol.
Forget the petrol.
Diesel.
Unless you just want town running,
Yeah.
the diesel Prado is the best Prado to buy. So until there, we are in agreement. But now when it comes to utility, if you're looking for luxury, go for the TZG because of the air suspensions. If you're corporate, the TZG is your car. If you're an off-road maniac, for lack of a better word, or an off-road lover,
Yeah.
just take the TX or the TXL. You're getting the same engine, same power output, but now if you're tech savvy, if you like tech, if you appreciate things like powered seats, things like heated and cooled seats, go for the TXL. If you don't care about features and you just want a car that will go and do all the craziness off-road, you could take the TX, which is the entry level, and it's the most affordable Prado.
Fantastic.
So I think with that, we can...
Set up.
Yeah, we can say that's a parting shot. And
now it's time to go and do some nyama.
yeah, let's go and do some nyama. It's been a crazy day.
There you have it. Now it's up to you. Thank you for staying tuned throughout the whole episode. We look forward to seeing you in the next one. Remember, this episode is proudly brought to you by Croton Motors, your trusted car dealer. You cannot have such an adventure without finishing off with some nyama choma.
This is the lifestyle. You go into the bush, you eat meat in the bush.
Yes.
And this is courtesy of the Landcruiser Prado.
We have enjoyed the fresh air, the scenic views, and now finally, some nyama choma. This is the life. We'll see you
Yeah,
in the next episode.
see you guys in the next episode. Cheers.
Cheers.